There you go.
Supposed to be green.
Really? You like it?
If I could have your attention, please, I'd like to call the Opelika City Council work session to order. We have several things that we need to discuss as we prepare to go into the regular meeting. The first of which are two requests to advertise. Mr. Mosley?
Yes, sir. Good evening, council members, mayor. The first item before you tonight is a request to advertise a text amendment to the zoning ordinance. This is a request to add add a few definitions to section 2.2, add the uses to table 7.3, and then add two sections to the zoning ordinance. This concerns what we call a small box discount store. Small box discount stores are typically those that sell a wide variety of products for deeply discounted prices. Most people consider these to be something like the lines of a Family Dollar or Dollar General. It's a growing kind of movement or process across the U.S. for towns to look at these and regulate these a little bit more to make sure that we don't over accumulate a certain number of these in areas, particularly those that are what we call food deserts, where you have a mixture of low-income households and lack of mobility. And so what we've seen is over the past 10 years or so, we've grown to about 9 of these different facilities throughout town, many times located very close to each other in the kind of same sections of town. And what this ordinance amendment would do would be to just define what they are, define what a grocery store is, and then put some limitations on how close these businesses can open next to each other. And then make them a conditional use and provide for options for them to provide healthy foods such as fruits, fresh fruits, dairy, vegetables, things like that. But with that, we are asking permission to advertise this for a public hearing.
Any questions?
Yeah, I had a question.
Yes,
Matt, on the definition of the small box discount store, it says small box discount stores do not include retail stores that, and then number 1 is dedicate at least 15% of shelf space to fresh or fresh frozen food. But then down below, in number 5, that's on page 3 of 3, or actually it's page 6 on the agenda, but it says a cup or a CUP approved under this section must stipulate a minimum of 15% of shelf space of the small box discount store must be dedicated to fresh produce. Is that the same? I mean, is that basically?
It's typically the same thing. I mean, it's pushing them, and there has been research that shows if you require them to have a certain amount of fresh fruit and produce that they will put it in. And so this would technically remove them kind of almost out of that definition.
Right. Okay. All right.
Other questions?
This would only apply to new businesses coming in, not existing.
Yes, ma'am. Excuse me, yes, ma'am, that is correct. So any of the existing locations would be considered a legal nonconformity, meaning they are allowed to continue in that location for as long as they keep their business open. They could also move within the same parcel, so if one's already located in a shopping center, it could move from one location in that shopping center down the street if they so chose. What it would not do is allow a new one within a 1 mile radius of another existing one. Or if one was already located within 1 mile of another one, it could move from one parcel to another parcel within that area.
Other questions? Pleasure of council to allow this to move to advertising. Thank you.
Thank you. The second item is a request to advertise the rezoning of 21.9 acres at 3001 High Pike Drive. current zoning is R5, which is a high-density residential zone, and they're requesting to change that to a planned unit development. The property is located, is accessed from High Drive and Hammond Street, which is to the south. They're requesting approval for a master plan that shows 148 residential units with 3 types of housing, 94 single-family homes, 34 twin or townhomes, 20 duplexes, or excuse me, 20 small bungalows. The density is about 6.75 units per acre, which is well below the 16 units per acre allowed in the current R5 zoning district. They do show amenities, including a pool, a tower, and about 3 acres of open space. One thing that should be noted is this does show some smaller lots than we've previously seen. And so those would be particularly 2,000 to 2,800 square feet for single-family homes, which is somewhat well below what we normally have, but they do show some open space, and I think their intent is to try to provide something where they can create smaller lots where they could potentially sell moderate income affordable housing based on the size of the lots and put more into the actual houses themselves. They do show sidewalks, street trees, and landscaping. Planning Commission did make a positive recommendation for this, provided that there be sidewalks on both sides of the street trees, landscaping, residential buffers, underground utilities, the home constructed match the architectural style shown, and then no vinyl metal siding be provided or be utilized. I think we put some of the different styles in your packet so that you can kind of take a look and see what they look like. But with that, we're asking for permission to advertise this for the public hearing.
Is this the guy that wanted to do them over by the crossings originally?
No, sir. The primary property owner for this is Mr. Jacob Hill, who was, I believe, a business partner with Mr. Patton on the South 8th Street and Avenue D development. He's also got a couple other business partners who are, I think some of them are here today if you have any particular questions on this. But this is a different development than that one, I think, that you referenced.
The houses look nice.
Yes, sir.
Questions? Pleasure of the council to move this on for advertising.
Thank you.
Thank you. Resolutions, Scott?
We have one resolution for y'all to consider this evening, put on the agenda. This is a change order to add items to the Geneva Street Improvement Project. The change order includes water system additions, sanitary sewer additions, and stormwater additions. When you're dealing with a road as old as Geneva Street, you never know what you're going to find once you break ground. And we got to replace all these old systems, so that's what this was intended to do. Also included in this is an upgrade of the existing design. We originally intended to just put pedestrian signals at the design at the signal in McCoy and Geneva. Afterthought, we thought it'd be best for the project and the community to upgrade it to a complete signal replacement. So we're going to put a modern signal replacement at that location. So you see the price for the signal minus the price for the bidded pedestrian signal in there. Be glad to answer any questions about this, and I'll give you a status update if you all want on this project, but we'd like to have this considered for approval.
Well, the obvious question is, where are we and how long?
Yes, that was my concern.
Ms. Hood emails me regularly, and so does Rosa. We are scheduled to pave next week, the north section between Stowe and Vaughn. Pave that and open it back up to traffic. Once all the old stuff's been replaced, then we'll, building the road's easy, and then we'll move south, water line, and fixing that road all the way to McCoy. And then also we're working on Clanton Street to realign Clanton as it approaches on the other side of the railroad track. So moving quite along. So we're looking for asphalt next week, so that's good news for me. Any other questions you'd like to address?
Questions? Pleasure of the council make that resolution number 14.
No, I didn't get an answer, but we're moving.
Ma'am?
we were talking about the timeline, so I said, we're just moving
Only know the next phase.
expeditiously.
Thank you. Russell, well, wait a second. We have one ordinance. This is a request for annexation, Mr. Gunner.
This is get my microphone on. This is a request from Ricky and Cynthia Wilson to annex their property located at 4002 Marvin Parkway. This property is contiguous to the Opelika city limits, and they are requesting that we extend the boundaries of the city to encompass their property. They own some property in what's known as Timber Hill Subdivision.
They are requesting an annexation because they would like their children to go to the Opelika City School, so that's a positive thing.
It is?
Pleasure of the council to make that ordinance number 7. Okay. Russell, you have a add-on?
Yes, sir, I've already passed it out to the council. You should all have a hard copy at your desk already.
Okay, and this is to vacate a sanitary sewer line. Back many years ago, there was a group of doctors that owned the property out the left-hand side of Oak Bowery Road as you go down the hill, that big pasture, and they were going to develop it, and the city at the time reached an agreement with them to install sanitary sewer upon their developing the property. The property is now owned by different individuals, and they've said they're not ever going to develop it, and they don't want the sanitary sewer, which is a good thing, because it's about a $2 or $3 million project if we were putting it in. So we appreciated them asking us to vacate it. So the pleasure to council to make that resolution number 15. Okay. Mr. Mayor,
Quiet here, Mr. President, thank you.
Ms. Finley.
Good afternoon. We're asking the council to approve the contract for stormwater ADA improvements to be opened on September 30th for the engineering department. The bid was mailed to 25 vendors, 5 bids were received. Recommended contract, the awards to Southgate Air Conditioning and Refrigeration. On the low bid, meet specifications amount of $440,115.15.
Any questions? Thank you. You got anything else? Okay, as we prepare to get ready to go into the regular meeting, just a comment. Glad to see Chief McCarron back with us. Hope you're feeling better, Chief. I know that that was a difficult time. Let's see, Miss Kathy. Yeah, I see you. If you'll move over this way, we're going to get started in just a second. Okay, I'd like to call the Opelika City Council meeting of July 7th, 2020 to order. Call roll, please. Mr. Jones.
Ms. Jones?
Here.
Ms. Pitts?
Here.
Mr. Smithy?
Here.
Mr. Cannon? Here, Ms. Smith?
Here. We're honored to have Miss Kathy Newkirk with us from New Life Christian Center. I'm going to ask her to make her way to the podium, and she will lead us in our invocation, and we will follow that up with the Pledge of Allegiance from Anna, AJ, and Molly Barnes from Girl Scout Troop 7238. So if you all would stand, please. Miss Kathy.
Heavenly Father, we come today, Lord, thanking you, Father, for your many blessings. Thank you, Lord God, for your grace and your mercy, Lord Jesus. Father, we thank you for this opportunity, Lord God. Father, we thank you for being God. We thank you for being with us in this meeting, Lord God. We thank you for all of our city officials, Lord God. We thank you for the citizens in our community, Lord God. We thank you for the citizens in our state, oh God. Father, in the name of Jesus, we ask that you bless the ones who are making arrangements, Lord God, the ones who are planning our future. Lord God, we pray that you intervene in every situation, Lord God, and we will give you the glory. We will give you the honor. And we thank you for blessing us, God, and we just praise your holy name. Lord, there is none like you. We just love you and we adore you, and we thank you for taking such good care of us, oh God. Thank you for taking care of us as citizens of Opelika, God. We thank you, Father. We will praise you. We will forever praise your holy name. We thank you for your leaders and your guidance in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Ladies. Y'all come on around. We can't see any, is it Anna?
They can stay right there.
They can come right here. Come up this top of the steps right here. There you go.
Attention, salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
You all have previously received a copy of the minutes of the June 16, 2020 council meeting. Is there a motion to approve?
Move for approval.
Is there a second? Any additions, deletions, or corrections? Having none, all in favor of accepting as presented signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Mr. Mayor.
Mr. President, members of the council, ladies and gentlemen, I have two announcements before I make a presentation with help from Mayor Patton and Pro Tem Patsy Jones. First, a reminder that the Alabama sales tax holiday will start on Friday, July 17th. That's a week from this coming Friday. It's the 15th annual sales tax holiday for school-related items. It will begin at 12:01 a.m. Friday morning, June 17th, excuse me, and will end at midnight Sunday night, July 19th. Now, the state waives its 4% sales tax on school-related supplies and clothing, and we do the same with our sales tax here in the city. Clothing priced at $100 or less per article, school supplies valued at $50 or less per item, books that cost $30 or less per book, and then tablets, laptops, computers, and printers with a selling price of $750 or less. So it's the annual sales tax holiday, great opportunity for our parents of school-age children to save some money. You're going to be hearing more about it in the next couple of days with President Smith and President Pro Tem Jones. But I want to ask all of you to join us in raising awareness of wearing our mask. Now, everybody in here tonight is wearing a mask, and thank you very much. We've seen a rise in COVID-19 cases in Lee County over the holiday weekend. You will recall back in early April, we reached our peak number, and folks, we're not far from reaching those numbers once again. Now, I understand the frustration of not being with loved ones and family, and not having our traditional summer events like summer swing, but we have to do something about stopping the spread of COVID-19. And if we have another shelter at home or shelter in place order from the governor, think of what that's going to do to our local businesses, what it's going to do for high school athletics and college football. So none of those things are good, and none of those are things that any of us want. So what we have to do, please, when you're in public, please wear your mask. Now, we can make it a mandatory thing. The council and I would prefer not to do that. If everyone will cooperate and if everyone will wear their mask, we think we can keep those numbers down. So, thank you. Now, President Pro Tem Jones, Mayor Patton, Dr. Grady, if y'all would join me down front. Well, they got their mask on, I better put mine on. We can just talk about that. Hey, Barbara. Hey, Jim. Come right in here. We've got a number of firsts here tonight. The first female mayor of the city of Opelika, the first female African-American member of the city council, now the longest serving member of the city council in the history of Opelika. And of course, the woman that we honor tonight, Ann Grady, was the first female member of the council and later served as president of the council. So Barbara, I wanted to ask you and Patsy to share a few things about Ann before we make this presentation to Dr. Grady.
Well, it was my privilege and honor to serve with Ann as she was president of the city council during my first term as mayor. She'd already been a veteran on the city council for 10 years before I came on board. We had a lot of ups and downs, a lot of good times, a lot of hard times, but we accomplished a lot of different things. And some of those things that I remember are we passed the village commercial, village residential zoning, the purple mill range. We passed the 800 megahertz radio system, police department. We had a strategic plan that Ann was a big part of, and during that plan, part of it was race relations, one of the task force. And Mayor, you went to Washington and accepted an award that we got for that cultural diversity in Lazenby. But Ann was a leader, and she knew her job as a city council president. She knew what it was to lead the council. She did the job well. She was a consensus builder. She was a communicator. As the executive director of Leadership Alabama, she knew how to convene people and how to listen to them and then bring us all together. So Ann was a great friend of mine. We went a lot of places together and we talked a lot about the city council. But she was also not afraid to come to me and say, "You're not doing that right." So I appreciated that. And there were just a lot of things that we did, like roadworks and all the things that you do as mayor and as the council. She was just a wonderful person.
Well, I had the privilege of meeting your wife, the Honorable Ann Grady, in 1995. And she took me on as one of the new council members. I viewed her as a mentor. And one of the things that I truly, truly admired about her, she took me to my first convention. And she said to me, "Patsy, I want you to learn everything about the city. So in order to do that, you need to make sure you go to Alabama League of Municipalities and learn as much as you can learn." And fortunately, I have done that. As a matter of fact, it's really ironic. I'm ending my last
municipal certification this year, and that's just really our money. And with one of the persons, when I first got here, I told her the things that I was interested in trying to bring to the council. And she said to me that we can do those things, and I mentioned to her about the Tall Regina area, some of the things that were not there. And it was under her leadership, and in 1995, we passed the Tall Regina plan. And we worked from that plan and making sure of many things. But overall, it was a trend. And many years after her leaving the council, she and I remained friends. And the last book we had together was Relight for Life. I started a team for all women elected officials, and she was able to be a part of our last book, really, Bob, I think that was our last one. So she has been really a great testament to what Home for Life is, and has become, for innovative leadership and a loyal to our city. Thank you for sharing.
Jim, just one comment I can make about Ann, and I thought about her the other Thursday. When I was on the council, I think, Barbara, in 2001, Ann had been representing the city on the AMEA board. And I guess that she came to you and said, I think we ought to put Garrett in there. So she said, I want you to go to the board meeting with us. I didn't know what they were talking about, but she knew what they were talking about. And that's been a few years ago, and I happen now to be the chairman of that board, only because I'm the longest serving member. They do it. And the vice chairman is the second longest serving. But Jim, we appreciate Ann, we appreciate you and all that you've done for our community. And I have a proclamation here signed by every member of the council. Whereas Ann M. Grady was born on February 26, 1946 in Birmingham, Rose and Gladys Gidley, and passed away quietly on June 14th in Opelika at the age of 74. Ann served the Opelika community in many capacities as an innovative governmental, business, and community leader over the last 45 years. Ms. Grady, known affectionately to many as Miss Ann, served as the first female elected governmental official in Opelika. Served District 5 on the newly formed City Council for 3 terms between 1986 and 2000. Served as council president her last 4 years, and then did not run for re-election. Ann was responsible for the inception of the county's first leadership program in the mid-80s, and worked to establish similar leadership program initiatives in many other communities around the state. In addition, Ann served on appointed board positions, including the United Way, Campaign Chair, Keep Opelika Beautiful, Department of Human Resources Board for Lee County, Opelika Planning Commission, Opelika Board of Zoning Adjustment, and many others. She was appointed by then Governor Bob Riley as a member serving to promote the provisions of the U.S. Highway Beautification Act. She was named Woman of the Year in 1990 by the Opelika Professional and Business Women's Club. Whereas Ann was married to the love of her life, Dr. James D. Grady III, with whom she had 2 daughters, Victoria, Tori, Marie Grady McCallum, and Jennifer Jenny Ann Grady Jeffers, and 4 grandchildren, Kendall Marie Grady, Grady Alexander Jeffers, Ann Caroline Jeffers, and Reagan McCallum. Now therefore be it resolved that Mayor Gary Fuller and the City Council recognize with great admiration and appreciation the achievements and contributions of Ann M. Grady, and extend our condolences to her family and friends adopted this the 7th day of July. And Jim, we also want to present you with Ann's portrait that was displayed in the City Council chambers. We want to present this to you, and then you're going to loan it back to us because we're going to put it in a place of honor. Any comments you'd like to make?
One of them, tell you a little bit about what I had to put up with. whether to be offended or not. I said, well, tell me what's going on. She said, well, I sent the meeting, I sent it later, came in here back, and so I sat down, got the third row from the back, and she said at a break, I noticed 4 or 5 men were gathering around, talking, looking over at me, and one of them came over and said to her, you know where you are? And she said, I think I do. He said, do you know you're in a wastewater treatment facility? And she said, yes, I was invited to come. I'm interested in this. We're having issues in Opelika. I wanted to be sure that everything got handled the way we wanted it to be handled. That was the kind of thing that I dealt with. I certainly appreciate this, and I appreciate the resolution, and I appreciate the opportunity that she had to serve the community. Thank you.
Yes, please.
That's all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you very much, Dr. Grady. Citizens Communications, Mr. Jones.
Okay, now would be the time, can y'all hear me? Now would be the time if you'd like to speak to the mayor and council to come to the podium, to my left, your right. Please sign in on the sign-in sheet if you'd like to speak, with your name, address, and phone number in case I need to get in touch with you. Please keep it 5 minutes or less, and I'll bring the mic around if anybody wants to speak.
This pen is a little stuck, but that's okay.
It is stuck. Before you speak, tell us where you live, okay? Your name is
Okay. My name is Kenny Frazier. I live on Stony Brook Road at 2502 Stony Brook Road. I came here tonight because, just like Mayor Fuller said, I'm concerned about COVID-19 and the spread. I was out at Tiger Town today at Target. I went inside and maybe 50% of the patrons were wearing masks, another 50 were not. I think that it's fine to recommend that we wear a mask, but I think it's about time that we mandate it because some people aren't going to do it. I used to be a police officer for the city of Auburn. I retired last year. And just like with mask wearing, I used to stop people from not wearing seatbelts. And the first thing they say is, well, it's a free country. I don't have to wear a seatbelt. Well, yeah, you do. And I'm going to give you this ticket for not doing it. I think we're at that point with COVID-19. My youngest son, he's going to be a freshman at Opelika High School this year. For the past couple of weeks, I've been taking him to football practice. Looking forward to watching him play football this fall. I know he's looking forward to playing. But I think, like the mayor said, we got to be more aggressive with our prevention efforts. And just leaving it up to the citizens to do it on their own, I just don't think that's going to work. I think, I just wanted to voice my opinion that I think it's time for us to mandate wearing masks, and that's what I had to say tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Frazier.
Hello, my name's William Bohall, and I just came here tonight to expand on what I previously discovered without discussing what I went into the last time I was here, because it's quite in-depth, and I appreciate the patience you've shown me. You're trying to deal with a lot of issues. It's corrupting the ability for an individual or a low income to moderate income bracket individual to apply themselves in a manner that will benefit society or themselves and their family, or to try to get a family established. Now, aside from the industrial issues and the funding that's needed and why I need to be in office to talk to Congress directly about these funding issues, but there's also the issues taking place in the courts in the state of Alabama, Michigan, and elsewhere, for a person to get representation and to get a voice and get credible witnesses into the courts. I've never been able to find any legal representation, not even in the state of Alabama, in 22 years, from patent applications to constitutional rights issues to other civil issues. And in 2010, I got frustrated and applied myself to file 9 federal lawsuits against multiple agencies, companies, and individuals in the Montgomery courts. And it took me about 8 months to do legal research to address the magistrate's arguments, which was all criminal case issues. I supplemented my case with civil issues in all charges, and it had to end up going to the appeals court in Atlanta, which did not address the issues, and I still could not get legal representation in these matters. And it is a critical issue. And going forward with even the commerce trade ventures, dealing with the context of these cases. And I need to have access to those files, because those are the only files submitted in existence. I couldn't even afford copies. And I still can't get even a general attorney to intervene to get me copies of those files submitted in 2011. And that is critical for a writing that I'm trying to establish on all these issues that's dealing with the aspect of society that's keeping an individual from going forward. It's called blasphemy of a nation. And those documents are supportive material. Without them, it's like me trying to submit something to a television or a film industry, which was supposed to be based on factual accounts, to issues that's more like supplemental allegations. The whole aspect of selling this is corrupted. Now, you already know what's going on with the technology that I had to offer, and still do, to somebody somewhere. But now you know how much more of an issue is involved when I can't get political or legal representation. It's destroying an individual and a society. and the matter of injustice which has taken place in America is far more broader. And y'all haven't been made aware of it. Well, I'm here in person to tell you it's taken place. And I need your help. Now, between the collective knowledge of all y'all, the Democrats and Republicans, you need to get involved somehow, some way. Because I can't get the technology established. It's got to go somewhere, and I can't get other commerce trade ventures established. Then where's my constitutional rights? And I just want to finish with an issue I was watching on Inside Edition tonight where President Trump validates the Confederate flag, and he says that he supports the right to freedom of speech. Well, if you don't have access to court to bring witnesses in and establish a screenplay or any other work, where's the freedom of speech? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bohol.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Allie Rauch. I live at 1903 Arbor Lane. Oh, goodness, it's hard to talk on this. I just wanted to take a moment tonight to introduce myself officially as the new Chamber of Commerce president. This is my first week, and I've already had the pleasure of sitting down with Mayor Fuller and City Administrator Motley. And I just wanted to introduce myself. I know I've met many of you, all of you already, but wanted to introduce myself in that official capacity and thank you for the partnership and all of the great work that you do for our city. I'm truly looking forward to working together in the coming years. So that's all I had to share. Thank you.
Thank you, Ally. And our compliments to the search committee for the Chamber of Commerce for a great choice. So we look forward to working with you as well.
Thank you so much.
Others? Okay, we'll move on to, after we move the microphone. General business, Mr. Jones.
All right, our first item, is this mic working? It is, okay. First item in general business is a request for alcohol license by R.S. Brown Enterprises LLC doing business as Whistle Stop.
Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? Having none, call roll, please.
Ms. Jones.
Aye.
Ms. Pitts.
Aye.
Mr. Smithy.
Aye.
Mr. Cannon.
Aye.
Mr. Smith.
Aye.
All voted aye. Our second item in general business is a public hearing for rezoning 25.7 acres on the corner of Waverly Parkway and Veterans Parkway.
This is a public hearing, and I declare the public hearing open. Anyone like to speak for or against this issue, come to the podium to my left and do so at this time. Having no one, I declare the public hearing closed.
Our third item is another public hearing. This is a weed abatement assessment for 9 Avenue B.
I declare this public hearing open. Anyone like to speak for or against this issue, come to the podium to my left and do so at this time. Having no one, I declare the public hearing closed.
Next public hearing is another weed abatement assessment on Williamson Avenue.
I declare this public hearing open. Anyone like to speak for or against this issue, come to the podium to my left and do so at this time. Having no one, I declare the public hearing closed.
Next public hearing is a weed abatement assessment on 3307 Arnold Avenue.
I declare this public hearing open. Anyone like to speak for or against this issue, come to the podium to my left and do so at this time. Having no one, I declare the public hearing closed.
Our Our last public hearing is a weed abatement assessment at 501 First Avenue, 509 First Avenue, excuse me.
I declare this public hearing open. Anyone like to speak for or against this issue, come to the podium to my left and do so at this time. Having no one, I declare the public hearing closed. Bids, Ms. Finley?
We're asking the council to approve a contract for citywide ADA improvements to be at opening date June the 30th with the engineering department. The bid was mailed to 25 vendors, 5 bids were received. Recommended contract, we award South Bay air conditioning and refrigeration on the low bid meets specifications in amount of $440,115.15.
Is there a motion for approval?
Move for approval?
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? Having none, call roll, please.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Pitts?
Aye.
Mr. Smithy?
Aye.
Mr. Cannon?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
All voted aye.
Thank you, Ms. Finley.
Thank you.
Resolutions, Mr. Mr. Gunner.
Mr. President, the first resolution is a resolution recognizing the many achievements and contributions of Ms. Ann Grady to the Opelika community. This resolution was previously read in its entirety by Mayor Fuller.
Is there a motion for approval?
Move for approval?
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? Having none, call roll, please.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Pitts?
Aye.
Mr. Smithy?
Aye.
Mr. Cannon?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
All voted aye.
Resolution number 2 authorizes the Public Works Department to purchase school safety signals from Radar Sign LLC at a cost of not to exceed $103,945.
Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Is there a second? Is there discussion?
What will these exactly look like? What's,
They're going to be the signs that you see that when you go down the road and it says slow school, and then they have the speed limit that you're going flashing,
that's great.
and they'll be around all the schools. And I want to say a special thank you to Mike Hillier and the ESG people because they are going to take on the installation of these. We are saving $239,000. So, Mike, we appreciate what y'all do, and that makes a big difference. And I think it's going to be really nice and look good.
That's wonderful.
Others? Call roll, please.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Pitts?
Aye.
Mr. Smithy?
Aye.
Mr. Cannon?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
All voted aye.
The third resolution authorizes the Information Technology Department to purchase Fortinet security maintenance from CDW Government Incorporated at a cost of $16,369.26.
Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
We
Second.
have a motion and a second. Is there discussion? Having none, call roll, please.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Pitts?
Aye.
Mr. Smithy?
Aye.
Mr. Cannon?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
All voted aye.
The fourth resolution authorizes the Information Technology Department to purchase a Cisco camera system for the Opelika Sportsplex from CDW Government Incorporated at a total cost of $145,082.23.
Is there a motion for approval? Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion?
Just one question, is this replacing a system that we already have, or is this a brand new system?
Upgrade.
Upgrade, okay.
Where's Steve? Correct? Others? Call roll, please.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Pitts?
Aye.
Mr. Smithy?
Aye.
Mr. Cannon?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
All voted aye.
Resolution number 5 authorizes the city to purchase real-time closed captioning and post-transcription services from AI Media Incorporated, and I believe the cost is $7,960. This will be to provide closed closed captioning for the Opelika Council meetings, the Planning Commission meetings, the Historic Preservation Commission meetings, and the BZA meetings. So any meetings conducted in this facility will have closed captioning.
Is there a motion for approval?
Move for approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion?
What exactly is the post-transcription? What is that?
They'll type up the transcript of what is said during the meeting.
We'll have that and the minutes, I guess, basically, right?
Well, it'll be available for the city clerk to prepare the minutes.
Okay.
So
Others?
what do we use now? You just listen and we don't have a recording now?
Yeah, so I go off of our recording, on our YouTube channel. From my understanding, Dozier, is that the city council will be live captioned. It will be captioned live as it's happening. The other is the post transcript. So it would be, we would send them the video, they would caption it, and then when we post it at a later date. You see what I'm saying? So it's less expensive to do it that way than it is to have someone sitting and typing live.
Yes.
So that's what the post transcript is for the other meetings. The council would be live transcription.
Okay, thank you.
Others? Call roll, please.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Pitts?
Aye.
Mr. Smithy?
Aye.
Mr. Cannon?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
All voted aye.
The sixth resolution approves the acceptance of a proposal submitted by Tyler Technologies Incorporated for a cyber security assessment and plan. The cost is $56,340.
Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? Having none, call roll, please.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Pitts?
Aye.
Mr. Smithy?
Aye.
Mr. Cannon?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
All voted aye.
The seventh resolution approves the assessment of a weed lien against the property located at 9 Avenue B in the amount of $263.34.
Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Is there a second? Is there
Second.
discussion?
Was that the right total?
I'm sorry?
Was it 149 or you saying a 200?
The dollar amount?
Says 263.34 is what the resolution says.
For 9 Avenue B?
Yes.
Okay, I see.
Others? Call roll, please.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Pitts?
Aye.
Mr. Smithy?
Aye.
Mr. Cannon?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
All voted aye.
The eighth resolution approves the assessment of a weed lien in the amount of $213.24 against tax parcel number 17 located on Williamson Avenue.
Is there a motion for approval?
Move for approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? Having none, call roll, please.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Pitts?
Aye.
Mr. Smithy?
Aye.
Mr. Cannon?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
All voted aye.
The ninth resolution approves the assessment of a weed lien in the amount of $202.86 against the property located at 3307 Arnold Avenue.
Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
This is the property that we helped them take the house down too, isn't it?
I believe so, yes.
I have my standing request from time to time is, most of these properties have been on the meeting before, where we spent money to do the weed ordinances. I just for what it's worth, I think we need to get a total on all these properties, make sure we're not spending more than the property's worth. I mean, some of these things go back for years.
Yeah. Others? Call roll, please.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Pitts?
Aye.
Mr. Smithy?
Aye.
Mr. Cannon?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
All voted aye.
The 10th resolution approves the assessment of a weed lien in the amount of $263.80 against the property located at 509 First Avenue.
Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there a discussion? Having none, call roll, please.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Pitts?
Aye.
Mr. Smithy?
Aye.
Mr. Cannon?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
All voted aye.
The 11th resolution approves a contract with Seeley and Long Associates for grant administration services in connection with a pilot grant to implement a youth incarceration prevention program for the period from July 2nd, 2020 to September 30, 2020. And the compensation to be paid to Seeley and Long Associates under this agreement is $28,000.
Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion?
Hey, Eddie, I know you had been working with them on that. For the community support worker, would that be a licensed counselor? Because I didn't see it on the end, and I know that that person will be required to, work with the, I guess, the kids on behavioral health sciences and for services. And it speaks about mental health and substance abuse. Do you know if that would be a licensed counselor?
I'm sorry, Tiffany, I didn't understand all that you said.
Oh. Do you know if it will be a licensed counselor that will serve in that capacity?
Yeah,
It says
yeah.
a community support worker.
Yes, it will be.
Okay.
We have been granted this grant, and we are in the process of applying for a $300,000 grant that would follow this up and expand this program. The Violence and Crime Commission that Mayor Fuller originated a couple of years ago had a group that was to find the funds, and so we have found our first grant, been awarded our first grant, and these are the dollars that will be coming, and Dr. Seeley and them will administer it, and they will be bringing in people from mental health and also from the court and judge fellows. And so we're excited about getting something started and then helping to keep it going with this additional grant that we're applying for now.
Mr. President, I met with Skip Long, Pastor Long today, and I'm really encouraged about him working with Dr. Seymour at Opelika High School and with Judge Fellows and with probation officers. So that's gonna be a good thing.
Thank you. Others? Call roll, please.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Pitts?
Aye.
Mr. Smithy?
Aye.
Mr. Cannon?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
All voted aye.
The 12th resolution retains Riley and Jackson, a Birmingham-based legal firm, to prosecute legal claims on behalf of the city of Opelika against the manufacturers and distributors of opioids. These are mainly synthetic opioids, like Oxycontin. As the council is aware, there are a myriad of these lawsuits pending. Most of them have been joined in an action in federal court in the state of Ohio. So far, over 3,000 local governments, counties, and states have have joined in these lawsuits. And Jackson and Riley and Jackson represent some 20 plaintiffs in the lawsuits, 20 counties and municipalities in basically in Alabama and in the panhandle of Florida, the largest of their clients being the city of Huntsville and Jefferson County. Their fee arrangement would be a contingency fee of 25% of any recovery made, and so if they recover nothing, the city would receive nothing, and whatever they recover will be 25%. If the city wants to be involved in this litigation, time is running out. The manufacturer of Oxycontin filed bankruptcy, and the last day to file a claim in that bankruptcy proceeding is July 31st. So if the city wants to be involved, we need to make a decision by the end of this month.
Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? Having none, call roll, please.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Pitts?
Aye.
Mr. Smithy?
Aye.
Mr. Cannon?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
All voted aye.
The 13th resolution is one that pertains to street lighting. Everyone knows that the city operates its own electrical distribution system. Unfortunately, because of the Alabama Territorial Electric Acts that were enacted by the legislature in 1984, the city doesn't serve the entire municipality. Alabama Power Company and Tallapoosa River Electric Cooperative serve certain parts of the city. But the city wants to maintain street lights in these areas outside of Opelika's service area. So you have a resolution that would authorize the Director of Opelika Power Services to sign lease agreements and contract documents and applications with both Alabama Power Company and Tallapoosa River Electric Cooperative. What brought this about is that there were recently about 6 streetlights that were installed in the Alabama Power Company service area, and they now want the city to sign a lease agreement for these various streetlights that are being signed. The city would pay routinely about, I believe, $75 a month or something of that nature for a street light. So we have 2 choices. We can either authorize the director of OPS to enter into these agreements, or we can start bringing them all to the city council. My recommendation would be to authorize the director to sign these. He's in that business. He knows where they need to be located, and he can certainly negotiate a good contract on behalf of the city.
Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion?
Do we have any reciprocal situations where we're receiving income from the 2 of them for any lights that are?
Not for street lights.
Oh, the attachment fees?
Yeah.
Okay.
Others?
May I ask this question? When he negotiates, are we talking about outside of the 6 areas that you're talking about? Or are you only talking about these 6
Well,
areas?
all of these documents that he would be authorized to sign and approve locations are all located in the city limits, but they're located outside of OPS's service area. Basically, all these areas are areas that were annexed into the corporate limits of the city of Opelika after 1984. So they're on the fringes of the city, basically, are these areas that are served by Alabama Power Company and Tallapoosa River Electric Authority. But those subdivisions that are being built in those areas, they need street lighting, and we need to have a mechanism so we can coordinate with Alabama Power Company and Tallapoosa River Electric Cooperative to make sure those residents do receive street lighting.
An example of that would be the Northeast Industrial Park, whereas all 3 of those electrical suppliers are in the industrial park. And so those things would be part of those light pole agreements.
This came up with Hidden Lakes just recently, which is a new subdivision out on Sportsplex Road. And that's an area that's served by Alabama Power Company. So we have to contract with Alabama Power Company to provide electricity to the street lights in that subdivision. The developer has paid for the installation of the street lights, but somebody has to pay for the electricity after they're installed, and that is the responsibility of the city.
We have one area, Mr. President, National Village, has all 3, Opelika, Alabama Power, and Tallapoosa River, all mixed up in there. And then you have a similar kind of thing with Alabama Power and Opelika Power, south of Tigertown.
Right.
So it's a lot to it, and I agree with Mr. Gunner about having Mr. Lee handle it.
And just to add, Town Lakes, where I stay, her service by Alabama Power.
Right. Others? Call roll, please.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Pitts?
Aye.
Mr. Smithy?
Aye.
Mr. Cannon?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
All voted aye.
Resolution number 14 approves change order number 2 to the contract between the City of Opelika and Robinson Paving Company Incorporated for the Geneva Street Improvement Project. As you heard from the city engineer this evening, this is to upgrade the traffic signals in that project area, and also to make certain changes to the stormwater drainage and sanitary sewer systems in that area. And the cost of these additional changes will be $223,613.75, and the new contract amount will be $2,508,287.75. This is, when we get involved in big construction projects, there are always going to be unforeseen and unexpected circumstances, and these are just things that happen during the course of construction.
Is there a motion for approval?
Move for approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? Having none, call roll, please.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Pitts?
Aye.
Mr. Smithy?
Aye.
Mr. Cannon?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
All voted aye.
The 15th resolution was added to the agenda. This is a resolution authorizing the vacation of a sanitary sewer easement. This easement crosses lands that are now owned by Herndon Land LLC and by Austin and Mary Catherine Shaw. Originally, the original owners of this land had planned to subdivide the land and probably create 25 lots. And to do that development, they would have needed sanitary sewer line to serve those lots. Banks Herndon, who is, of course, the owner of Herndon Land LLC, and Mr. Shaw have no plans to develop, and they have requested that the city vacate this sanitary sewer easement. This will not affect sanitary sewer service to any other residents in the area, and will in fact save the city some money by not having to construct a sanitary sewer line to serve that property. So upon the petition of the Herndon Land LLC and Austin Shaw, it's my recommendation that the city approve this vacation of this sanitary sewer easement.
Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? Having none, call roll, please.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Pitts? Mr. Smithy?
Aye.
Mr. Cannon?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
All voted aye.
Ordinances, Mr. Gunner.
Mr. President, the first ordinance is before the council for second reading, and it comes to the council with a positive recommendation from the Opelika Planning Commission. This is an ordinance to amend the development plan for Town Lake Subdivision Planned Unit Development. This is a development that's located north of U.S. Highway 280 and 431 and west of North Union Royal Road and east of Interstate Highway 85. The amendment, if this amendment is approved by the City Council, this Phase 5 of the development will include 97 single-family residential lots and 2 commercial lots with access to Columbus Parkway.
Is there a motion to amend the Town Lake master plan?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion?
I have a question, I guess maybe it'll be for Matt. With the plans, I had a resident who contacted me, and she was concerned because of the lots will be a lot smaller than the ones that are there now. Is that gonna affect the value of the homes out there? If the houses are gonna be smaller?
We don't typically get into the assessment of property values based on our developments. I will tell you that the lots in Phase 5 are not too much smaller than the lots in Phase 4. I think that some of them are very comparable here. I believe most of those are in the 8,000 to 10,000 square foot range, whereas Phase 4 is right in the kind of 9,000 to 11,000 square foot range. Some of the original phases were slightly larger lots, closer to, instead of being a quarter acre, they're more like a third acre. So they're 12,000 square foot in many of those earlier phases. I don't think you'll see much difference though. You definitely will see a difference, I think, in the size of the houses being built, but I don't think you'll see a huge difference in property
Thank you.
Others? Call roll, please.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Pitts?
Aye.
Mr. Smithy?
Aye.
Mr. Cannon?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
All voted aye.
The second ordinance is also before the council for second reading, and it does come to the council with a positive recommendation from the Opelika Planning Commission. This is a ordinance to amend Phase 3, the development plan for Phase 3 of Canongate Plan Unit Development. Of course, Canongate is a development that's located on the west side of Oakberry Road. If approved, this amended plan will provide for 81 single-family residential lots and approximately 24.4 acres of open space.
Is there a motion to amend the Canongate master plan?
Move for approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
There's discussion? Having none, call roll, please.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Pitts?
Aye.
Mr. Smithy?
Aye.
Mr. Cannon?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
All voted aye.
The third ordinance is also before the council for second reading and comes with a positive recommendation from the Opelika Planning Commission. This is an ordinance to rezone approximately 6.6 acres located at 3417 Dale Avenue in the city of Opelika from an R-5M district, which is a high-density residential district, to a C3 district, which is a general commercial district.
Is there a motion to approve the amending of the rezoning of the property on Dale Avenue?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
There's discussion?
With the C3 zoning, is that automatically with conditional use?
The C3 zoning is a general commercial zoning, so there are certain uses that are conditional in that zone and certain uses that are permitted outright. Uses that are typically conditional in that zone are any sort of outside storage or any sort of automobile sales, automobile maintenance, things like that. Most uses that are interior retail are allowed outright in that zone.
I know in C3 sometimes you can have some of those areas where it can be not as pleasing for a neighborhood, so.
Yes, ma'am. You can conditionally have some uses that would have some more impacts on neighboring properties. We typically, where commercial zones, above residential zones, you typically do have increased buffering. But most of those uses, like I said, that would have some sort of outside use or anything that would also be considered manufacturing would be a conditional use in that zone.
Others? Call roll, please.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Pitts?
Aye.
Mr. Smithy?
Aye.
Mr. Cannon?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
All voted aye.
The fourth ordinance is also before the council for second reading and also comes to the council with a positive recommendation from the Opelika Planning Commission. If adopted, this ordinance will rezone a 2.87 acre parcel of land located at 1402 Fitzpatrick Avenue from an R-2 district, which is a low-density residential district, to a C-2 district, which is an office retail district.
Is there a motion to amend the rezoning of the 2.87 acres on Fitzpatrick Avenue?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
There's discussion? Having none, call roll, please.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Pitts?
Aye.
Mr. Smithy?
Aye.
Mr. Cannon?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
All voted aye.
The fifth ordinance is before the council for second reading. It comes to the council with a positive recommendation from the Opelika Planning Commission. If adopted, this ordinance will rezone a 0.7 acre parcel of land located at 1813 Old Columbus Road from an M1 district, which is an industrial district, to an R4 district, which is a medium-density residential district.
Is there a motion to amend the rezoning of the 0.7 acres on Old Columbus Road?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion?
This is the one that there was a discrepancy in 2 lots within the subdivision, is that correct?
Yes, sir, that was.
Are they gonna remain or change? It was lots 7 and 8, I think, were misnumbered maybe?
No, sir.
They're gonna remain like they are?
This was a single-family residence that wanted to be rezoned.
Yes, sir. This was originally a single-family home.
Oh,
on a
okay, you're right, okay.
Industrial piece of property.
Yeah.
The single-family home is still a
Okay.
legal nonconformity, but the property owner wanted to go ahead and change the zoning so that if he ever sold it, it would be clear for resale.
Scrambled up here.
A lot of rezoning tonight.
Others? Call roll, please.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Pitts?
Aye.
Mr. Smithy?
Aye.
Mr. Cannon?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
All voted aye.
The sixth ordinance is before the council for first reading. It also comes to the council with a positive recommendation from the Opelika Planning Commission if adopted. This ordinance will rezone a 25.76 acre parcel of land located at the intersection of Waverly Parkway and Veterans Parkway from an R1 district, a R3 district, and a C2 district to a planned unit development. The development plan or master plan for this development provides for 72 townhome units and 20 single-family lots with significant recreational areas, water features, and open space. The proposed density is 3.57 dwelling units per acre.
Ask for a member of the council to introduce this ordinance.
My pleasure.
Mr. Smithy, thank you.
The seventh ordinance was added to the agenda this evening. The city has received a petition from Ricky L. and Cynthia L. Wilson to annex their property located at 4002 Marvin Parkway into the corporate limits of the city of Opelika. You have before you the proposed ordinance that would assent to and approve the annexation of this property.
Ask for a member of the council to introduce this ordinance.
Introduce. I'll introduce.
Ms. Jones, thank you. The final issue, item was number 16, is the character trait of the month is courage, defined as the quality of mind or spirit that enables a person to face difficulty, pain, danger without fear. A lot of that's going on right now, so I encourage you to be full of courage. Is any other business coming before the council this evening?
I do have a couple of questions, just a couple of updates to ask about. There was I know there was talk, Scott, where ALDOT made, that they were gonna install a traffic signal down by Southview. And I passed through, maybe yesterday was a really bad accident right there. And I was wondering if there's a status on when that was gonna happen.
There is no status at this time. ALDOT requested that we perform a traffic study at that location, and that was right when schools were closed due to COVID. So we haven't been able to perform a traffic study, but once school starts back, we'll perform a traffic study and make recommendations and get with them. But there's been no decision from ALDOT at this time for a traffic intersection improvement.
So I thought maybe within the first year that I was on the council that we had a traffic study conducted for that area for them.
We did, and, well, we asked them to do it, and they said that it justified a traffic signal improvement, but they still wanted us to look further into what type of intersection improvement was needed. I think they're just kind of being slow behind it, but we're still doing what they request for us.
Okay.
We need the school traffic to get back so we can make the recommendation.
Okay, and then I know at a planning commission meeting, we had discussed the sidewalk in front of the high school. And I thought about it when we just voted on the school safety signals. We had talked, that sidewalk that goes out, that you all were gonna try to find a way for the kids to cross the street.
At the signal at Sanford,
Yeah.
Yes.
that
Yeah.
is a plan that we have funded for with the roadway improvement project. So we do have funding for that signal this year. Well, the sidewalk and crossing at that location. So there is funding for that this year through the roadway improvement project.
Now, that's just crossing, the highway there, not going also parallel to it, right?
Right, there is an existing sidewalk going to the high school and also coming from Sanford. There's an existing sidewalk, so it's just gonna be connecting across the signal intersection.
Good job.
And is there an update on the poles, the repainting of the poles on South Fourth Street? That'll be a joy. No update?
We're just waiting on osmos, and poles have to be dry for them to do, and so it's a scheduling deal. If they can't do it, we'll just have to find somebody else, but we've been dealing with them, and, that's the schedule they're giving us, but they haven't done anything.
Anything else come before the council this evening? Is there a motion to adjourn?
Move for adjournment.
Is there a second?
Second.
Call roll, please.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Smithy?
Aye.
Mr. Cannon?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
David, I was trying to see your mask, red and black. I should have put I had a bulldog. My sister made it for me. I had it on and I took it off, put on this one, since it had Opelika on it.
I like